destruction. That's what the Bloods was. You understand what I'm saying? So they took it somewhere else. The sucker, the sucker Fugazi and grabbed up the gang, and they grabbed up a bunch of other little suckers, leading them. Now we're pressing against our own people. We ain't protecting them against the community, against the police that was coming in here killing our babies. Now we gonna use our strength, and we're gonna press our own people. So the shit went sideways, and suckers started leading. That's what everything. We look at the culture now. We look at the fucking presidents we got to pick from. Look who they picking as leaders. These can't lead. These ain't built for nothing. But somehow they trick into believing it. We live in a technology era. On social media, they ain't never even come outside. They talk about men who have risked their lives and still risk their lives every day, and they got a following of trying to belittle men, real men that actually did shit. And they got bigger followers that's paying them to do it. So this is where we live at in this culture. So what I'm trying to say is, if we stop celebrating those type of, and then the kids start realizing the type that look up to now. Me and my man, shout out to Tut and New Direction, shout out to 8th grade. These are that went to jail, came home. They in Newark right now. Was the big homies with the putting in work and set up in jail and say, yo, this shit is right. There's a bunch of like Gus in here, and we coming to jail. We losing our freedom. I'm not going back out there feeding that shit to my people. I'm gonna tell them I'm still a gang member. I'm still the big homie, but I'm telling them what this shit is really about, and we leading them in a new direction. And that's what it is. I'm saying we can't celebrate niggas that don't got any level of integrity, or just a bunch of weak niggas, and keep saying and giving them excuses for being weak. If you're weak, it's cool, but you gotta be over there and be weak though. You gotta be over there and be. It's not like I said. If a nigga's a rat and you a snitch, if you can't hold it down, you get caught. The police grab you. Only where it matters if you a snitch or a rat is in the streets. When you're in corporate America, they don't give a fuck. So us calling a nigga that decided that he on the sidewalk and he ain't built for the streets and he in corporate America a rat, it don't hurt him in real life. Especially when he realized that that's not who he is anyway. He like, yeah, I wasn't built for that. That wasn't my lifestyle. I got involved with, and a nigga gonna respect that. They not holding you to that. Only where a rat and a snitch bother you is when you still trying to be held to a high regard in the streets, and you want to come back here and you still want to mislead these kids. Because I say all the time, you're not helping the crime rate when you let a rat off. Because who's locks the rat up? The rat done got a bunch of niggas locked up, but the rat just go to the next block and multiply with a bunch of more rats, and they still doing the same sucker shit. Niggas let Sammy the Bull out of jail, and he came home and started a whole nother crime syndicate. You ain't stopped nothing. Well, how you stop niggas? Alpo ratted on niggas, came back to Harlem, and was still hustling and selling drugs until niggas killed them. You ain't stopping crime by the rat getting out of jail and you locked up the other niggas. It ain't nothing stopping.
Ain't nothing stopping.
So that's what I'm saying. If every nigga got to be held accountable for what he do, if the feds stop giving the rats deals and say, nah, my nigga, you gonna do 40 years like everybody else. All them niggas going to jail, and so is you. You know what you gonna stop? You gonna have these little niggas stop jumping off the porch and coming outside. Because it ain't no rats to celebrate the sucker shit. It ain't no sucker weak niggas out here left out here still looking like they winning when they not. Because all y'all niggas gotta be held accountable. So it's only gonna be honorable niggas here.
Prison is soft. Prison is soft now. Prison is not a scary place to go to. That's another thing. When we was coming up, prison was like, oh shit. You know what I mean? I just seen the man riding a man. Pause. You don't want to go in there. You found
now these niggas want to be ridden by men, so they don't mind going in there.
Right.
It's a different mentality.
I asked these young kings, I said, listen, they act like they at war with each other. All of these gangs from city to city, I'd be like, what's going on? They at war, and it's everywhere. They can't go certain places. So they don't understand the word war. War means guaranteed casualties. That's what the word war means. Guaranteed casualties. Guaranteed. Battle is winner or loser. So I asked these young kings, I said, y'all ever seen a man that was on the run for murder? They said, yeah. I said, do you see him get dressed and get fly and go to the mall? They said, nah, nigga on the run for murder ain't getting dressed and getting fly and going to the mall. But these guys out here acting like they at war, but they getting fresh. They got on diamonds. They acting like it's a war. Can't go over there with the ops at. With I ask these young kings, bruh, do you know where your mind would be at if you was on standby like this for 6 months? Who that? Who that? Watch out! Boom, boom. You doing that for 6 months? Do you know you would never come back mentally, bruh? It's.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. So they teaching these kids it's a war. These ops, I can't go over there. These ops, I don't like them niggas. But I'm fresh and I'm fly if the feds watching. It's confusing. A
It
guy
is
who want to
because you know why? Because they learn in the game and they learning shit from niggas that not
okay now
warriors. If you
listen,
can,
hold on.
if a nigga teaching you about war that never been in war, that don't even have the heart for war, right? And he take it as a game. This is why I be on the internet having conversations. I'm like, y'all niggas don't even understand real life because I know what's gonna happen. And 9 out of 10 times when I be watching these young dudes or niggas on the internet that keep playing with niggas, and I found out a nigga done shot him or a nigga done did something to him, I knew that was coming. I just don't know how they didn't know it was coming. Because the internet has niggas have false sensory. You can't play with everybody on the internet. That's why these niggas be on the internet. Yo, fuck that. Your mother smoking on your dead ops, and then 2 days later you be like, yo, they shot him in his car. Yo, niggas did this and that. What did you think was coming from that? How did you think anything else was going? You ride around on live, your location, niggas know where you at, and you telling niggas fuck their mother and you hope their brother that died, you pissing on his grave. And you think that shit is cool because you said on internet and you got 1,000 views. But you don't realize what comes with that. These niggas is making songs every day about the niggas they actually shot and killed and talking about rolling them up in blunts. And then every 2 days, one of these niggas is getting taken off the map. And they act like they don't know that that's what comes with it. So what I'm trying to tell you is the blind is leading the blind. And if it ain't real niggas to sit up and say, yo, listen, bro, this is what comes with this. Either get on this motherfucking sidewalk, cause I'm not a nigga. I'm not here to preach to you, cause I can preach all I want to. I'm just telling you, it's sharks in the water. That's all I want you to know. If you want to jump in that water, my nigga, you gonna have to wrestle with the sharks. Don't come back here and tell me, yo, the shark bit me. Nigga, I told you they was out there. I'm not here to play game. I'm dealing with men and life on life's terms. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I respect. That's how a nigga had to. When I think about how you would have had to change me as a man, you would have had to come to me as a man I respect. You had to speak to me truth to power, like with facts. Don't try to sugarcoat. Don't try to boogeyman shit to me. Tell me the facts. And that's how I deal with these young niggas. Oh, you out there gangbang? Oh, you doing that? That's what come with it, bro. Don't come to me and ask me after I done already gave. My son came to me with some other shit, got locked up. Told him, don't even call me. You can't call
you
me
can
for that. Call
look
somebody else.
you can look like a real nigga nowadays, Mice. You can look like a rapper. Like I be asking these young cats, man, you can actually go get some jewelry and watch in a car and look like you intelligent. They think intelligence is a look.
And
They think it's
that's
goals,
what.
it's power, it's big chain. They think that shit is like you can look like that
But
nowadays.
that's
So
why me and you, Connie, it's up to us to tell niggas that ain't true, and we got to stand on that. And we can't be afraid to be contradicting of the trend. I don't mind that I don't fit in with the but I know we can do all this innocent and that shit all day. I know when I'm in a room with other men, kids or anything, them niggas sense they in the room with a
I'm in
man.
another
That's what happens
state doing this shit.
every time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's how me and you clicked. I met you one day. I was like, this nigga energy is like mine. We men. I'm gonna go get his number. We click. We've been
No
cool ever
doubt.
since because men sense the energy of other lions and they understand when they in that room. When I'm in the room, I'm teaching these kids. I walk in the biggest jails, the biggest gangster niggas. They be young niggas be like this. After 15, 20 minutes, niggas sitting there talking like, yo, G, yo, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cause they realize, nigga, I'm not one of them. This ain't no game for me. This shit is real. Win, lose, or draw. This is what it is with me. I'ma stand on what I stand on. And the niggas that don't do it, they gotta figure it out their own. We can't save everybody, but we gotta save the niggas that want to be saved. And we gotta give them an opportunity to be saved. And the only way we could do it is we gotta really stand opposed to sucker shit. I can't peacefully coexist with a coward. Then, oh, that's another black man. Nah, that's not. Any man who is not trying to boycott black murder is praying and wishing on the death of these babies. You're adversary to me. We night and day, and I have no problem with that. You know, I understand these young kids, they don't know much. So I'm a lot more lenient with these babies. I'm bringing them over. I'm like, young kid, I'm listening to 21 Savage and I'm watching that young boy evolve. Right? I'm listening to Lil Baby. I'm watching these young niggas that was wild evolve into men. I'm hearing the music. I'm like, damn, so these niggas is getting it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's where I was there. So
Mm-hmm.
I understand that part of evolution and growth. But I can't respect 30, 40-year-old niggas that's still trying to prey on these babies instead of giving them game, you running game on them.
So what do
Nah,
we
I don't
do
gotta
with them?
respect that.
So what do we do with them?
You gotta
What do we
call them
do?
niggas out, bro. And you gotta let niggas know that sucker shit he doing. That shit he doing over there, that sucker shit. We ain't condoning no sucker shit. And that's it. And I'ma stand on it. And a nigga can't tell you wrong. He
Now listen,
can't.
listen to me, Mike. Listen to me, Mike. Hear me out. A lot of times, brother, we need those brothers so we can know the difference between my son and shitty cuz.
Yeah,
You feel what I'm saying?
but that's why you
Now
tell
look,
them that is a difference,
I
though.
understand, but mice, one day you might be talking to a shitty cuz, man. And I don't ever want you to, because ain't nothing worse than a brother getting the right results from doing the wrong thing. And a lot of niggas who 40 plus is doing that, and they willing to kill for that shit. So I don't
Yeah,
want
but
you
you
to
know,
tell it. I don't want you to tell a shitty cuz that sucker shit, and he come back and think he's standing on some real shit. You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of
but what I'm
times,
trying to tell you is this. You know what? You know what the sad part is? The sad part is Nipsey is immortalized. We didn't want him to die, right? I wish the nigga was still here. But the legacy that he left because of a shitty cuz is probably bigger than it would have left if he would have just died a natural death. Right?
mm,
Unfortunately. Right? Jesus died at 33. Like, we gotta be, nigga, I'm not here to live forever. My legacy might be a nigga kill me for some sucker shit, and the world gotta realize, damn, how the fuck we let a sucker nigga kill somebody like that? We gotta get on a different time. All of us have our purpose. I don't move in fear. I don't move in fear at all. Whatever's gonna come for me is gonna come for me, and I'm gonna stand on what I stand on. So what I'm saying is, if me standing on what I know that I'm supposed to stand on causes my demise, then that was God's work. That shit ain't got nothing to do with me. Nipsey was God's work. Niggas didn't even know who half the niggas I was at Nipsey funeral. Nipsey funeral was probably the biggest funeral I ever been to in my life. And when he was alive, his music, these niggas wasn't on Nipsey. So Nipsey is a martyr, bro. And he died because of what he was supposed to die for. Shitty cuz he gonna live in that cell, he gonna die 1,000 deaths. Everywhere he go, he ain't even safe no more. So I don't mind whatever comes with my reality. I'm okay with that. If I could tell a sucker, if I'm watching a sucker nigga do some shit to these babies, and I'm saying, yo, why are you misleading these babies? And they come back and shoot me, and I'm not on point, which I'm usually am, because after what happened to Nipsey, I'm always thinking about what could happen and how these niggas be jealous. If I'm not on point, a nigga get me, then he got me, and that was God. That was only God's plan, because it's gonna be hard. You're gonna be hard pressed to catch me slipping. So if you catch me slipping, then God meant for me to slip, man.
so you're right about that. However, if we keep giving them a platform and speaking about the sucker shit, we are highlighting it. We need to create a platform for the niggas who not doing sucker shit and talk about them every single fucking day. It's like we highlighting the sucker shit because that's all we see. I don't want to just see sucker shit. It's some honorable shit going on out here that we can post for months and months and months, and we not doing that. There's some brothers that's doing life right now who the gang then kept money on his books and all of that. We need to expose dudes that actually kept it solid and what happens at the end of that. We need to start. This is reactionary conversation. This is not preventative. You feel what I'm saying, King? So if we if
But
we
this
if
is
we
not just a conversation for me, because I have 3 platforms where I
I,
talk about that. I have 3 or 4 platforms. I got
3 or 4,
curriculums. I got schools. I'm
but
doing
three
work
three
all
you
over the
need
state. So
3 or 4
I
of
hear
them.
what you're saying, but it's already being done. It ain't highlighted because that ain't the shit they want to highlight.
Yeah, but speaking on them is kind of like, yeah, we gonna talk about this one dude that stayed solid in 1989, never folded, never did none of that. Just talking about sucker shit is giving a sucker nigga a light. It's kind of like these podcasts. If a rapper don't do nothing nowadays, I seen these podcasts don't have nothing to talk about. If a rapper ain't killing or catching a Rico, these podcasts went down. They couldn't sit in front of the, hey, y'all, guess what happened? I'm like, damn, y'all waiting on a nigga to go through something bad to talk about some shit. And that is now
So that's why we
profitable
gotta
for
highlight
niggas.
the niggas that's
You
doing
feel what
it.
I'm saying?
Let's highlight the niggas that's doing it right. We
Right.
ain't gotta talk about the, cause most of the time I don't really talk about the niggas that's doing negative unless they so detrimental. The reason why I ever talk about a nigga like academics, cause to me, he's just a nigga that's, I don't even understand how he got here. So it's like it's disgusting to me. But for the most part, I use my voice to highlight the niggas that's actually doing something. You know, I want to highlight when I I do my podcast sit downs with the stand ups. It's sit downs with stand up niggas that changed their life around, that came from certain shit and changed the mind frame and changed everything that they was thinking about to do something better. You know, so that's what I highlight when we sit down. When I'm my segment on my thing, it's taking positive music, niggas who come from where we come from, but got positive messages and shit that make you think. So I don't really focus on the negative shit. That's not really a thing that I do. But I'm saying when it's time, if we in a situation, I see somebody that's completely contrary to the culture of what it is that I'm trying to push,
Right.
then
So
yeah.
if you say stop joining instead of stop snitching, we won't have to say stop snitching because you joined. So the nigga who came, hey, you know this nigga told? I already know because that's what come with joining. So keep it pushing, nigga. I'm standing with stop joining. I'm gonna start at the head. That way we ain't got to deal with the symptoms and all of that shit. A lot of times motherfuckers come with the symptoms, but they ain't got no remedy. Like the remedy is stop joining. We ain't joining. You don't gotta die for where your mother paid rent at. Cause if I ask a dude, if your mother paid rent in a homosexual neighborhood, would you be homosexual? Hell no. Well, why you gonna say you're a product of your environment then, brother? So let's just stop this. You making a decision and you making a choice, man. They actually making the choice. So we gonna say stop joining. Stop joining. Let's have the mother
I
tell the
respect
kid.
that.
Yeah, we gotta start at the head. That way we ain't gotta deal. Why the nigga? Of course it's snitching in that. Oh, you in the gang? I already know. If I hear the word snitching, I know you in part of some street corny shit. So therefore, you gonna deal with that. If I hear you lost money on calls and puts, I know you in the real. I know you into the stock market. If I hear you lost money on equity, I know you in the real estate. So it's certain conversations that I know that I'm gonna be at, and certain conversations that we don't dwell at. King, you have surpassed that shit. So you at the point of stop joining. You don't even talk to niggas who even in that culture. So I ain't
But
even
that's
gotta explain to you.
That's not really true though, because you know what, I could say stop joining, right? But I know it's a lot of niggas that's in the culture. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I got big homies that's with me, that they teaching you niggas what the gang really is. So they not dropping a flag. No, we still doing this.
What
We
is the
unify,
game?
huh?
What is the game? Is the game negative or positive?
The gang is supposed. It was designed to be positive. Somebody just
No,
derailed it.
I ain't asked you what it was. I asked you what it is.
Oh,
Because
I don't know. I mean,
what
it
you
depends
was,
on
and what you is,
it
what you
depends
was, my son,
on the
and what
big
you is
homie.
right now is two different things. What you
It
was and what
depends
you is.
on. It depends. The gang depends on the big homies. It depends on your big homie, because I know gang sets are niggas who lead that protect the community. They ain't doing nothing
They
negative.
not.
They turn
They
they
not
turn.
called the gang then. You don't call them gangs if they doing that. A person who protect the community and stand on righteous shit, the word gang don't even go with that. That's called family. The lingo changes. This is why the kids is confused. The lingo is not changing. The man that don't read and the man that can't read is the same man, mice. They both uninformed. You know what I'm saying? The sign says if you go in here, you die. The one dude couldn't understand it and the other dude didn't read it. Both of them died. You understand
No,
what
I
I'm
hear
saying?
you.
So we gotta be a gang. Ain't nothing positive about that. Wherever it's drugs at, ain't no love. So if you dealing in ain't no love, you gotta expect that. Ain't no honor amongst thieves. All of this shit go with that. But we still trying to soften the blow. Just no, we not doing that.
All my riches is fraud.